Hi, thank you for joining us in this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. December 18th, NBA. Not really any college games come to mind for today, so we're just sticking strictly with the NBA, and that's okay because there's plenty of action in the NBA today. No question about it. So a lot of games on the schedule. We'll get into those. Let you and see what we can come up with here. Yesterday, pretty decent day, except for the Suns falling flat on their face. Thank you, Little, for that. And the Pistons once again decide to let everybody beat them by 30 in the first quarter, so the game's already over, which screws up the whole damn thing. But enough of that, and on to the bets for today. So we will get it in. 76ers, first game out of the chute is going to be 76ers and the Bulls. 76ers at home, 10.5 point favorite, 225.5 total. They have been on a tear. They look really, really good right now. About third best record in the league, or second best, I guess. Them and Milwaukee tied for the second best. Boston with the best record in the league, but they have looked great. They've only lost basically to the good teams, and the Bulls are definitely not one of those. So we are going to ride with the 76ers today, as they've been really good at home as well. So minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 6.5 first half, minus 10.5 for the game. Tyrese Maxey, we assume he's going to play more than 3 quarters, so hopefully we get over this 23.5 points. Joel Embiid over 1.5 blocks has cashed a bunch. Tyrese Maxey over 32.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined, and the 76ers over 119.5 team total. What a difference no James Harden makes. This team has looked fantastic. Tobias Harris has looked much improved, as he's not option number 4 through 9 now. He's actually probably third option behind Embiid, who's been fantastic so far this season, and Maxey has lived up to the expectations that he thought they could do. They've looked great, no question about it. Defensively, they've actually played pretty well, and then Embiid's been blocking shots, bunch of rebounds, and obviously scoring like a madman. He's definitely playing like an MVP at the start of this season, probably more than anybody else at the moment, but he's earning the MVP so far this season. We'll put it to you that way. So we'll give you those 76ers Bulls bets one more time. 76ers minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 6.5 first half, and minus 10.5 for the game. Maxey over 23.5 points and over 32.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. Joel Embiid over 1.5 blocks. We didn't take his point total because we're nearing 35, and that's a buttload, especially against the Bulls, who can normally slow the pace down of the game. So we're staying away from his point total, but we do like the 76ers over 119.5, 120 to 105 game. Should be pretty easily, I think, home. Anything, I can see them scoring $139 against the Bulls as well. The Bulls have tended to get down and not put up much of a fight anyway, so I think if the 76ers get out to the lead, they should pretty steadily hold that pretty much the whole game long on that one. Next game up on the schedule, Clippers at the Pacers. Pacers 3.5 point home dog, 247 total. Halliburton's status still unknown, so therefore we're going to stay away from this game. If Halliburton was playing, we'd bet all over the some part of the Pacers game, whether it be the side, total, bunch of player props. But we are going to stick away from that one now. If something does come back, make sure you do check out the Google Sheets at the end of the episode. You'll see in the comment section, it's a link to all of our bets. As we get closer to game time, as we're 6-7 hours before game time now, there might be more plays that come up on that one. Next game up, Rockets, Cavs. Rockets coming off a back-to-back. This is another game that we're not on. It's just that it's hard to figure out. The Rockets played well but didn't cover last night as they get a loss. The Cavs have been extremely unpredictable. Not a lot of player props available, as we just don't know who the hell is going to play yet. So, once again, one of those ones you need to check the Google Sheets at the end of the episode. Once we get a couple hours of game time, then you'll pretty much know where we're set going into that one. Next game up on the schedule is going to be Pistons, Hawks. Hawks somewhere around 11.5, 12-point favorite. Total somewhere around 246, depending on what book you're at. The Pistons have lost 7,000 games in a row, and they decide that they get down early and just don't care. I don't know what's going on. Monty Williams, in my opinion, is one of the better coaches in the NBA, but he has to have guys that put in effort, and it seems like his guys are just lacking effort at the moment. So as a bettor, we're going to hop all over this. Now, we did take the Hawks minus 10.5 yesterday, as we thought that line was going to move, as everybody loves to bet against the Pistons at the moment. But we will take the Hawks minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 6.5 first half. We did take them, like I said, minus 10.5 for the game. I still like him at 12. So until it gets to 15, then we got something to worry about maybe. Trae Young over 32.5 points. Trae Young over 10.5 assists. Asur Thompson with the Pistons over 7.5 rebounds. He was pretty consistent in the 8+ range early in the season. He's kind of taken a little bit of a dip, but his numbers back down to 7.5 instead of 8.5 to 10.5. So we will take the over 7.5 rebounds, as there should be plenty of shots to choose from in this game. The Hawks over 129.5 team total as well, as the Hawks like to throw it up in a hurry as well as the Pistons do. So should see a lot of scoring in that game. So one more time in that Hawks-Pistons game, Hawks minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 6.5 first half, minus 10.5 for the game. Trae Young over 32.5 points and over 10.5 assists. Asur Thompson over 7.5 rebounds, and Hawks over 129.5 team total. Next game up, Raptors-Hornets. Raptors at home, 11.5 point favorite, 224 total. Don't like the side, don't like the total, as the Raptors have been all over the place. And we know what the Charlotte Hornets are, which is just bad. But we do like 2 player props, both on Scotty Barnes in this game. So Scotty Barnes over 21.5 points and over 1.5 3-pointers. So one more time in that Raptors-Hornets game, Scotty Barnes over 21.5 points and over 1.5 3-pointers. Next game up, Timberwolves at the Heat. This line has switched, 3-point swing so far in this line. T-Wolves were a 1-point dog yesterday when we got them. Now they're a 2-point favorite on the road in Miami. I guess they're not expecting the South Beach booze flu, but we're not as well. But we do like the T-Wolves +1, money line first quarter, money line first half, and +1 for the game. Also, the T-Wolves over the 108.5 team total. There wasn't many player props available in this particular matchup, so make sure you do come back. This is a game we will focus on once they got a general idea of who's going to play tonight, and we probably will have some props on that, so make sure you come back and check the Google Sheets like I mentioned before on that one. So one more time, T-Wolves moneyline first quarter, first half, +1 for the game, and then T-Wolves over 108.5 team total. Next game up is going to be Grizzlies Thunder. Thunder right around 10.5, 11-point favorite, 229.5 total. We think the Thunder are one of the better teams in the West. We think they're like a 50-win team. Going against the Grizzlies, who might be a 25-win team, even when Morant comes back. I don't know if he can save this mess. So we are taking the Thunder -3 first quarter, -6 first half, -10 for the game. SGA over 30.5 points. He didn't get there on their last game out, so expect him home tonight. Chet Holmgren over 27.5 par. That's points, assists, rebounds combined. Chet Holmgren over 2.5 blocks. Chet Holmgren over 1.5 turnovers. This is heavily juiced, but well worth the play. And we're going to take something that makes a little bit of money. We get a little bit of extra cheese on our side at +150. SGA over 2.5 steals. As the Grizzlies do turn the ball over a lot, and we expect SGA to be a part of that. So one more time in that Thunder Grizzlies game, Thunder -3 first quarter, -6 first half, -10 for the game. SGA over 30.5 points. SGA over 2.5 steals. Chet Holmgren over 27.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. Holmgren over 2.5 blocks, and Chet Holmgren over 1.5 turnovers in that particular matchup. Next game up, Mavericks at the Nuggets. Nuggets 8.5-point home favorite, 237.5 total. Don't like much in this particular matchup, as the Mavs are just extremely hard to read. We do have 3 player props. Luka under 55.5 par. That number is ridiculous. Anybody to be at 55.5? Hell, Jokic was only at 50.5, right? Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. Jokic over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time, Luka under 55.5 par. Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. Jokic over 2.5 turnovers in that particular matchup. Next game up, Nets at the Jazz. Nets a 4-point favorite on the road in Salt Lake, 234 total, 234.5, sorry, on that one. The Nets have been pretty consistent all season long. The Jazz have been really yo-yo-y. They tend to only win the games when the other team shoots like 20% from 3. We don't think that's going to be the case tonight for the Nets. So Nets -1.5 first quarter, -1.5 first half, -3.5 for the game. Cam Thomas over 24.5 points. This number shot up, of course, because he put up 40 on a night he was only 19.5. So obviously it's going to go up. I still think Cam Thomas is good for 25 to 30 points in that one. Mikal Bridges over 32.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. And he's the Swiss Army knife that does everything. He scores, he rebounds, he dishes, steals as well. Nick Claxton, their rebound machine, over 9.5 rebounds. and Nets over 118.5 team total. So one more time in this Nets Jazz game, Nets minus 1.5 first quarter, first half, and minus 3.5 for the game. Cam Thomas over 24.5 points. Mikal Bridges over 32.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. Claxton over 9.5 rebounds. Nets over the 118.5 team total. Next game up, Knicks, Lakers. Lakers favored by 4 at home. Knicks have been on this road trip, it seems like forever. We just like the Lakers, just do the at home. The Knicks have been on the road, it seems like, for a week plus. They're probably looking for some time off to get their rear ends back to Madison Square Garden. We don't have a lot of player props in this particular matchup for the Lakers side because only LeBron is on. I don't know if we really like to see an Austin Reeves point total or threes. Kind of what we're looking at. So make sure you check the Google Sheets as those will probably come closer to game time. But we do like the Lakers minus 1.5 first quarter, minus 2.5 first half, and minus 4 for the game. Jalen Brunson's been doing a lot of the scoring. We expect that to continue tonight. Over 2.5 3-pointers and over 24.5 points. As defensive-wise, the Lakers are really good on the interior defense. Their perimeter defense might leave something to be desired. We think Brunson can hit some 3-pointers. He's not going 9 for 9, I think, like he did against Phoenix, but we only need 3 3-pointers and 25 points to get home with those. Pretty low totals, I think, for Brunson, who could average, 27 to 30 points in this league if it wasn't Thibodeau. We'll put it to you that way. So Lakers minus 1.5 first quarter, minus 2.5 first half, minus 4 for the game. Brunson over 24.5 points and over 2.5 3-pointers made that particular matchup. Last game up, Wizards at the Kings. This line's moved quite a bit as well, as the Wizards have been on road trip, and they're off back-to-back, almost beating Phoenix last night if the Suns don't come up with a fantastic fourth quarter. They beat the Pacers, but Halliburton went out. They beat the Pacers. They thumped the Pacers, let's be honest. They didn't beat them. They thumped them. The Kings have been really good at home and definitely a seesaw on the road. De'Aaron Fox has been what De'Aaron Fox is, which is a possible MVP candidate if he can get his team enough wins, right? So the line has moved. It was 11.5 yesterday when we were on the look-aheads where we were grabbing those. It is at 12.5, but we do like the Kings minus 4.5 first quarter, minus 7.5 first half, minus 11.5 for the game. We also like the over in this matchup, 60.5 first quarter, 121.5 first half, 245 for the game. That line has basically went up 3 points since yesterday. Wow. And then we also like De'Aaron Fox over 30.5 points, over 2.5 3-pointers made. Jordan Poole over 2.5 turnovers. And Kings over 130.5 team total. I definitely think they got a shot at $140 tonight. We'll put it to you that way. It is the Wizards. So if that's the case, we need the Wizards to score like 110. We should get home, cover everything. Let's call it a wrap. So one more time in the Kings-Wizard game. Kings minus 4.5 first quarter, minus 7.5 first half, minus 11.5 for the game. Over 60.5 first quarter, over 121.5 first half, over 245 for the game. De'Aaron Fox over 30.5 points and over 2.5 3-pointers made. Jordan Poole over 2.5 turnovers as the Kings cause a lot of havoc, especially at home on the passing lanes. And then Kings over 130.5 team total. So like I've mentioned multiple times before in this episode, at the end of the episode in the comments section, you will see our Google Sheet, which is a ledger of our bets. It'll say docs.google.spreadsheet and a bunch of other stuff behind it. Click onto that. That'll have a list of all of our bets for today. You can also see what we've done all season long. Also, all the tickets that we have open for season-long bets as well. So make sure you do check those out when you get some time. And like I said, we do update these sometimes. We try to get these episodes out as early as possible to give you plenty of time. But there are going to be things we add as we get closer to game time and stuff becomes available. As it's hard to send out a video 3 minutes ahead of time before the game starts and give you guys any help whatsoever. So do make sure you check those out when you get some time. Also, if you're into football, you can see all of the Monday Night Football and Monday Day Football we got with the College Bowl game as well. So check that out. And as always, if you could subscribe and get notifications to the YouTube channel, so we drop our bets, you get those first. Makes life really simple when we get you those. Makes it really simple as you'll get a notification to your device or phone, let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped some new bets. And that give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.